Good evening and welcome to Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment in Canada around the globe. My name is Tahir Qureshi. I'm a fellow of Real Estate Institute of Canada, broker of record for City Pro Realty Inc. Brokerage. I'm your host. Tonight we're going to talk about functions of a real estate in the province of Ontario. So consumers are aware of how a real estate brokerage functions in the province of Ontario. First of all, we have to talk about how they are registered and type of brokerage. Under the law, Real Estate Business Broker Act, either you are a sole proprietor, you have a joint partnership, two partners together, or a corporation, they can submit their application for registration as a brokerage. Each relationship or establishing a name of the brokerage has its own limitation and responsibility. The safest part is to have a corporation. You submit to Real Estate Council of Ontario is a regulator that implements real estate education, registration, compliance, and consumer protection program on behalf of the Ontario government. So now, if you are a single person who has registered as a sole proprietor, you will be having a name or choosing a name for the brokerage that you'll be using it. The consumer will not know whether a person is a sole proprietor or a partner or belong to a corporation. So under Real Estate Business Broker Act, Section 2002 Act, everybody is supposed to carry a license that gives the name of the person, name of the brokerage, and also name of the person who's acting under the act, and it has a license number and also an expiry date. So as a consumer for you, anyone coming to you, most cases is a realtor coming to you. And you might pretend and think that realtor that is coming to you could be a salesperson or broker is the brokerage. No. The person who's coming to you is acting on behalf of the brokerage. Every real estate agent, real estate broker or salesperson, they are employee or broker of the brokerage, unless they're licensed individually as a partner or corporation. So when you are negotiating a listing or buyer representation, you are signing a contract with the brokerage under the law, not with the agent. Agent or the broker who's coming to you is acting on behalf of the brokerage. So what type of brokerage is available? So let's give a little bit open discussion. There are multiple types of brokerage. Remember one thing, compensation has nothing to do with the brokerage unless broker establish a standardized price for their own brokerage. It is not required by law or any trade organization. It is the responsibility of the independent contractor who is working with the brokerage to establish compensation. Some brokerage, they charge desk fee, professional fee, and those their focus is service oriented, delivering value through service. They provide mentoring, education very aggressively, and they make sure that their employee or brokers working with the brokerage, you have seen so many brand name. I'm just going to name Royal LePage, Sutton, or Remax. These are the brand names. City Pro Realty, City Pro is also a brand name. These are the brand names They spend a lot of time and money in investing and training their staff. And because the time requires to train them, mentor them, because education is changing, laws are changing, and they need to spend more time to ensure their realtors are not violating REBA and as amended TRESA Act. They will charge fee for retention of employees within the brokerage for them to work with a brand name. There are brokerage, their revenue generation is through number of people. They want to hire more people and they charge less fee, per month fee, and they charge less money on the transactions. And you can imagine if one brokerage has 1,000 people, and if they're not mentored and educated, the quality of service may compromise. And then you can see when you are accepting as a consumer for the agent who is not provided the mentorship, the training and expertise and knowledge that a professional brokerage provides, it could be a service that you will not get. Or part-timers. I have seen lots of people who have different professions. They're not dedicated to the profession because they're doing a different part-time jobs. This doesn't go against a part-timer because there may not be focus. We're talking about type of the brokerage. So you can see there are quite a few brokerage. They have thousands of employees and they only pay a small monthly fee and then only pay a transaction fee. And there are brokerage who just charge a flat fee. You might have heard about it. And this is the philosophy of the inventor. They create mission, they create a strategy, they create a goals, save money. But we always look at this, the value, the competency, professionalism, and to ensure that the consumer are protected. So it is up to the choice of the consumer to pick and choose the person of their liking who represent a brokerage. I'm just explaining the type of the brokerage. So either you have agent that you hire who is a member of brokerage, they focus on numbers, or the professional brokerage, they focus in mentoring education and focus on giving value to their client. Everybody does the same thing. It is all about preference and flat fee. Imagine that if somebody is giving a flat fee, there's no restriction now. It used to be restriction that because of open competition, anybody can buy and sell and negotiate special arrangement. You will see a listing on MLS where the listing agent is only charging 1 cent because they want to put their listing on MLS, and me and other people who are professional paying thousands of dollars every year, and they're taking advantage of that. But is allowable, is permissible, is under the law. So what really brokerage do? Remember that corporation or sole proprietorship or a partnership is the brokerage that registered by RICO. And if it's a corporation, like normally you will see corporation, the corporation has to pass a resolution to nominate a broker who will become broker of record for the company. to run the organization. So what they do, and you don't get to see the brokerage because you are dealing with the real estate agent or the broker. So what do they do? First of all, they do everything. They mentor their agent. They register their brokerage through Real Estate Council of Ontario. They develop privacy policy. They handle the trust account. They work on FinTrack when the deposit comes in to make sure this is come through a legitimate source coming through a proper Canadian bank, and report them if there is a problem. And then they will do mentoring, education. They negotiate with the boards, joint boards, to provide MLS system where your property is listed in the market. For example, my brokerage is City Realty. We are a member of Mississauga Real Estate Board, which has a MLS system called ITSO. I'm a board director and chair of education committee. And we have a 22 board that combined the MLS system. Then on the other side, I'm also a member of Toronto Real Estate Board, Regional Real Estate Board. They have their own MLS system. So as a brokerage, when I join two boards, all employee who are working as an independent contractor or employee under my brokerage has to join the board of directors. So when a new employee comes to our brokerage, we train them, we mentor them, and they go out and meet with the client, which is buyer or seller, do a presentation. We help them to do the proper presentation to get listing. Then we help them how to upload to MLS system. We help them to negotiate and finalize a listing agreement, buyer representation agreement. Those part of the record keeping when a transaction takes place, because the compliance protocol, because broker record is a complying officer for City Pro and reportable to Realty Council of Ontario. They do inspection, they come and prepare the trade record sheets and everything. So we're going to go step by step. So these policies are when the agent is hired and he start working and he's going to go out. So he go out, and through the brokerage mentor program, we assign a senior person with that new person to go out for presentation for listing or BRA and how to market, advertising guidelines. The broker record set the rules for advertising guideline. You seek guidance from the Realty Council of Ontario to make sure no advertising material that is put on the public domain is not compliance to guidelines of RICO. So when they've set up the policy, the privacy policy, compliance policy, no calling, cold calling, false advertising, everything is the responsibility and record keeping for 4 years. Any disciplinary action, hiring, firing, termination, these are part and parcel of the management of this, and retention of the record for 7 years for a single deal. So if a brokerage is charging a small amount of money and the record is to be kept for 7 years, you think about the motivation, how you handle that. So what they do, so they train you, they do everything. You are entering an agreement with the brokerage, not with the real estate agent. When you sign a listing agreement, the salesperson cannot cancel that agreement. You understand that? This is very important for you. When you are entering into a listing agreement for a property or buyer representation agreement, you are signing with real estate agent on behalf of the brokerage. Only the broker of record on behalf of the brokerage or the designated project manager, branch manager, because there are franchises, they have their own branches. So they approve that in order to release a buyer or listing agent. So if somebody tells you, I'm going to get you to release it, you sign agreement with me and I let you go, you have them include in the listing agreement or the buyer reservation agreement the time frame that you want them to be representing you. Is very, very important, because that document, once you sign it, realtor is required under the law to provide you that copy. So you have now entered into a BRA, or buyer representation agreement, or listing agreement. That becomes a bonding contract for a specific time period with certain conditions that you included in Schedule A, if you did. Lots of people don't do that. They leave it blank. They don't review the agreement and they just blindly sign it. And there is acknowledgement. It says, I certify that I have received my fully executed agreement. If you sign an agreement and you violate that agreement and you end up working with somebody else, and you have an active agreement, I tell you, when they go to the court, you could be held responsible for the compensation. If you have, for example, signed a BRA with me and you did a transaction with somebody else, and whereas my BRA is active. Toronto Regional Real Estate Board has a buyer registry where when a buyer signs something, you can register this, then no other realtor can claim that he or she didn't know. They were not in the registry. A lot of people, our realtor friends, they don't even use that. But if you sign two agreements, BRA with me or somebody else, you're going to be liable for two. Unless one gets the payment from a listing agent, the second one will be suing you for that. It's very, very important to do that. And who collects the money? It's the brokerage on behalf of the contract, the employee. Now we have employees. They are, employee means salesperson, and broker is a broker. They're all independent, or they all have a GST, HST. Now there is a personal real estate corporation, PREC. PREC is a mechanism to collect the money from the brokerage. It's not a license of a realtor. Realtor license is salesperson, realtor, real estate agent, or just a salesperson or broker, and realtor or broker of record. Broker record has never changed. It remains broker record. So remember that. You never pay deposit in the name of the agent or the broker. It has to come to the brokerage that's listed on MLS, even exclusive listing. And then when a transaction takes place, the brokerage also negotiates with a different board for MLS system. Some just stays with the TRAP, which is Toronto board, and some do not practice on the west side, so they don't come to Toronto, but the other one go to ITSO and other few boards, and then they practice there. They have a choice. If the brokerage make a choice to work with two MLS system, City Pro, we have two MLS system. We want to make sure that our listing goes to both on the both system, and so it's to give you maximum exposure, and people get to see this property. Now, when you have a salesperson agent negotiate a deal for you, is a conditional agreement. The moment you give deposit to a listing agent, brokerage, you have to create a trade record sheet. You have to create a deposit receipt. It's a FinTrack requirement. There is a URIA form that you have to fill it out. And you have to say, what is the source of deposit? Is it check, or is it wire transfer? Is it bank draft? Who gave it to you? Who delivered it? What's the check number? What's the institution number? What's the bank account? What is the purpose of this deposit? And then brokerage will also give that receipt to the buyer or buyer broker who brought the deposit. Now we are doing electronic transfer funds, EFT. The funds are deposited directly to the listing agent's branch, and then once they verify the funds, they issue a receipt. The funds has been received in real estate trust account. Under Section 27 of the Real Estate Business Broker Act, the broker of record has to define a policy how to manage that real estate trust account. So some brokerage will have a no interest earned, no interest paid policy. Some brokerage will want to have a small administrative fee and they set up a minimum fee which is allowable. To simplify it, like by city brokerage, we don't charge, we don't collect interest, we don't give interest unless it's directed by the buyer. So then it has to be in the agreement of purchase and sale. So once the trust funds are deposited, I believe we have 4 to 5 days to deposit it, but we deposit, if it's a working day, we deposit the same day or next day is deposited. Once the money go to the trust account, there's only 3 ways the money can get out. First, deposit. So this is very important for consumer to understand. You have a conditional of financing or inspection or appraisal contract. So I will put deposit in real estate trust account. If the deal does not go through, you do not satisfy the mortgage financing condition or some problem with the inspection, and there's no dispute from the seller, because in this COVID environment, you have to be sure that you have done your homework, you got your pre-approval, now you have a conditional period, you get the final approval, make sure you qualify, because lots of bidding war happening on this real estate right now. And if you put an offer and you don't get the mortgage, you have deprived the seller of the opportunity to sell other people. Property will sell. But if you fail to get that mortgage and you are not able to prove that in writing that your intentions were good or bad, the seller may disagree with you because they might think that you got emotional, you give the highest price, and now seller has to kind of back out and rearrange. They'll be upset with you. So the best thing is to make sure you have funding approval. So let's say deal fell apart, condition was not satisfied, both parties, buyer, seller, listing broker, and buyer broker will all sign mutual release. There is a form, RIA form, and once that is executed, the listing brokerage will cut the check and broker record sign it, update the trade record sheet, and refund the money, and then properties go back in the market. So if transaction is completed, notice of fulfillment is issued, or conditions are waived, and the transaction is moving toward completion status, is being sent to the lawyer, because in Ontario, lawyers are the one who do all the completion of the transactions. So then at that time, transaction is completed, lawyer will provide a completion certificate, and then commission is disbursed. If there are surplus funds received in a deposit, then those funds go back to the seller. The third situation, the transaction did not complete because someone failed to fulfill their obligation to close the deal on time. In that situation, you will have a problem. And in that case, you will lose your deposit. Potentially, you will be sued for if the seller is not able to sell the property. You have to forfeit your deposit. So it becomes a litigation. We have a case where it's been 3 years of $25,000 still in litigation because of COVID. So you will not get the deposit back until a court order is issued. Either you complete the transaction, or you have a mutual release, or a court order. You cannot get that deposit back. You are watching Realty Coffee Talks, and we're discussing the functions of real estate brokerage. So we're going to take a short break, and we will continue our conversation on Realty Coffee Talk and Awaz Entertainment. If you are involved in real estate related business, either you are a builder, you are a renovator, you are a plumber, electrician, real estate or mortgage brokerage, lawyers, you can advertise on Awaz Entertainment. You will be benefiting from amazing offering that is offered by Awaz Entertainment to advertise on Awaz Entertainment in Canada, around the world. You may call 647-484-0018 and ask for Samina Javeen. She is the founder of this Awaz Entertainment. She will give you a very special discount when you refer to them, Realty Coffee Talk and Awaz Entertainment. We're going to take a short break. We'll come back after the break.
ओंटारियो का कोविड-19 प्लान फैलाव को रोकने और जिंदगियां बचाने में मदद फराहम कर रहा है। जब तक हम सबको वैक्सीन नहीं लग जाती, मास्क पहनें, अपने हाथ धोएं और फासला रखें। हम अब तक इकट्ठे चलते रहे हैं और पूरे ओंटारियो में रोजाना हजारों लोग वैक्सीन लगवा रहे हैं। आपकी बारी जल्द आने वाली है। ओंटारियो के वैक्सीन प्लान के बारे में मजीद जानें। अदायगी शुदा मिनजानिब हुकूमत ओंटारियो।
पाकिस्तान का सबसे मशहूर एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग ग्रेन मुगल बासमती राइस अवेलेबल इन बोथ व्हाइट एंड सेला। होम डिलीवरी इज अवेलेबल सब्जेक्ट टू मिनिमम ऑर्डर एंड रेडियस। ऑल्सो अवेलेबल एट योर नेबरहुड फ्रेश कोड। मजीद मालूमात के लिए आज ही कॉन्टैक्ट करें 5146630480 पर या ऑर्डर करें हमारे फेसबुक से। बनाए ये रमजान और भी खास मुगल बासमती के साथ, द प्रीमियम चॉइस फॉर प्रीमियम टेस्ट। 2020 का लाजवाब ऑफर, जहां हम 0% फाइनेंसिंग पर आपकी मनपसंद कार दे रहे हैं, फ्री विंटर टायर्स और साथ ही हम मुफ्त ऑयल चेंज भी दे रहे हैं, वो भी उम्र भर के लिए। अभी आएं और इस लाजवाब ऑफर का लुत्फ लें। जल्दी करें, आपका खुशामदीद हमारे आउटलेट में, जो कि 60 क्वींस प्लेट ड्राइव एट इंटरसेक्शन क्लोज टू हाईवे 27 एंड रेक्सडेल अपोजिट टू वुडबाइन रेस ट्रैक। जल्द से जल्द इस ऑफर का लुत्फ लें। आज ही कॉल करें सुनील अग्रवाल को 647-703-0218।
Assalamu alaikum. This is Khalid Rashid, your MPP for Mississauga, East Cooksville, wishing all Muslims across Ontario and around the world Eid al-Fitr Mubarak.
Hello, I'm Nina Tangri, your Member of Provincial Parliament in Mississauga Streetsville. Eid Mubarak to all of those observing Eid al-Fitr.
Hi, this is Chief Sabawi, your Provincial Member of Parliament from Mississauga and Mills. I would like to wish the Muslim community in Erin Mills and across the province a happy Eid Fitr Mubarak.
Hello, Natalia Kusindova here, your MPP for Mississauga Centre. I'd like to wish my Muslim friends, constituents and neighbours an Eid Mubarak.
I'm Rudy Cazzetto, your Member of Provincial Parliament for Mississauga Lakeshore, and I want to wish you and your family an Eid Mubarak.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Deepak Anand, your Member of Provincial Parliament from Mississauga Malton. I would like to wish everyone across Ontario and around the globe Eid Mubarak.
ओंटारियो की कोविड-19 टीकाकरण योजना फैलाव रोकने और जीवन बचाने में मदद कर रही है। जब तक हम सभी को टीका न लगा दिया जाए, तब तक मास्क पहने, अपने हाथ धोते रहें और दूरी बनाए रखें। हम इतनी दूर तक एक साथ आए हैं और पूरे ओंटारियो भर में हर एक दिन हजारों लोगों को टीके लगाए जा रहे हैं। आपकी बारी जल्द ही आ रही है। ओंटारियो की टीकाकरण योजना के बारे में और अधिक जानकारी प्राप्त करें। ओंटारियो सरकार द्वारा भुगतान किया गया।
Good evening and welcome to Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment in Canada, around the globe. My name is Tahir Qureshi. I'm your host. Tonight we are talking about function of a real estate brokerage. Many of you know that when you deposit the money, and I just explained to you before end of our first session, the deposit is kept in real estate trust account. If a brokerage take that money, even if 1 cent, without a proper documentation requires for a specific transaction, he or she who is managing the brokerage is violating the law. Those funds are in trust under Real Estate Business Broker Act, cannot be changed, cannot be used for the management of the brokerage. Number two, brokerage manages a commission trust account. Then it manages a general account. When a transaction is completed, there is a trade record sheet. It shows the name of the buyer and the address and phone number, seller's, buyer, lawyer information, transaction number, MLS number, name of sale agent who's listing agent, and complete history, when the invoice was sent, when deposit was received, how the money took hand, and is a complete history. And then on the second page, the brokerage has to disperse the commission. So how much money came into the brokerage. Lots of consumers don't understand when you are signing a commission in your agreement, there are two parts in the agreement. One talks about the total commission. That total commission is what you agree to give it to the brokerage to buy and sell your property, particularly selling property. There's another section where the listing agent saying is that you giving me the permission to share my commission with a cooperating broker. And they put that compensation. If there is no cooperating brokerage commission involved, then the entire total commission will go to the listing brokerage. Now, sometime it will happen is that the commission, if there is a multiple representation, you have another disclosure requirement in getting consent from the seller and the buyer, and you're doing a multiple representation because you have two agents, one agent or two agents within the brokerage who are buying and selling the same property. In that case, there's a disclosure requirement from the buyer and the seller. And those are extra step. Or if the buyer agent or buyer broker agent has interest in buying acquisition of the property or disposition of the property as a registrant, there's a disclosure requirement. So when this transaction takes place, a trade record is done. The broker of record scrutinizes the transaction. The moment that agreement of purchase and sale, which is conditional, come with a deposit, all the paperwork, FinTrack and everything, they start reviewing it to make sure everything is done right. If there's some problem with the agreement of purchase or sale or condition, the broker record immediately call that agent who is dealing with that to take corrective action and make sure things are done right. So when the conditions are satisfied in the best interest of the client, and there are waivers are done, notice of fulfillment been done, so the broker of record to see that how, when they did the working with the realtor, when they signed the BRA or listing agreement, when the first agreement was negotiated, copy of the agreement purchase and sale, duly acknowledged by everybody, then they also look at that deposit, make sure deposit record is complete, individual IDs. When you are working as when a consumer is buyer or seller, the buyer is supposed to give ID, identification record, personal record. This is a form that says that provide information. We use driving license because it has a picture and it's all information. And that ID is verified that this person is legitimate person, is buying property for himself, not for third party or intermediate party or whatever, suspicion and all that stuff. There is a faint track document that you have to go through. So all those things are verified by real estate broker of record. And if he sees something through auditing before that trade record is completed, he's reviewing it. If there's something is wrong, something is missing, or some need correction, he will direct that real estate agent to make sure that correction is done, amendment to the agreement is done. So all documents are reviewed and they're sent to the lawyer for closing. At the same time, the broker of record also send them an invoice based on the listing agreement they have signed. If they're representing a listing agreement and the buyer representation, buyer, then there is a multiple representation. They disclose that. There's a different protocol. If you're representing two parties, the best thing is that you notices goes to their lawyer for agreeing to the term of waiver of the conditions or fulfillment of conditions or review of the legal document, agreement, offer through their lawyers. So there is an independent way of verifying that they have a legal independent advice when they are negotiating the deal. So when the transaction is completed, they send invoice, they get all the lawyer information, create a trade record sheet and hold it in the file. When the lawyer provide us a document that is construction has been completed, keys have been handed over. Right now, the keys are kept in a lock. And then agent goes and takes the lock out when the key is taken by the buyer. Then the buyer, the listing brokerage, that trade record sheet that has been there, they will try to fix it and send it to execute it. Mostly funds are now using EFT because nobody wants to drop the check because coronavirus. So to commission, surplus money is sent. And then if there is any money left, the money is transferred, commission to commission trust account, and trade record sheets are updated. The commission trade record is issued where the money is being given out. Check has been issued. It shows how much amount, what is HST, what is the total amount that is being paid on the check. And this all information is trade record sheet and also commission ledger. And then broker are responsible to create a monthly reconciliation of all trust deposit, all the commission checks. What checks have been issued, they're pending, not cash. Same thing, real estate trust account. And we are responsible, we are audited for anytime they can call and say, okay, send me all the trade record sheet, they verified. And our company has been visited many times because I am very strict with policy. And we set standard, we created standard forms, and we follow very strict policy because this is a trust money. Real estate business is about consumer trust, and that cannot be jeopardized. And any violation of trust fund is asking for trouble with RICO and criminal act to violate the RIBA for monetary using. You will hear some brokerage get trouble. If you want to see the issues with the brokerage, you can go to reco.on.ca. There is a compliance and complaint section where you can see the decision of the registrar. They're very strict because this is a mandate of the entire government to protect consumer. So broker of record who is managing the brokerage is a complying officer responsible to train all employee, salesperson or broker to make sure they comply with that. So they get paid when the trade record is signed, money is disbursed by the accounting. Then the broker of record is responsible as a brokerage to maintain that record for 7 years. Doesn't matter it's a lease. It doesn't matter it's a small sale. It's a trade record sheet. You have to maintain all the record. When real estate council come and inspect the auditing, they come every 2-3 years. They check 2 years of record to make sure money coming in is properly accounted for and is kept in the account where it belongs, and no hanky-panky take place. Sometimes error happens, but then you correct those errors and you put a note in the file, but not to draw money for any purpose other than the completion of transaction, surplus fund return after completion transaction, or a default, mutual release, or order of the court. So, viewers, the idea again for you is to understand that if you ever have any questions, if you have a problem with a realtor who's working with you, for example, don't get angry with that person, because the brokerage create policy and they have the option. For some reason, if you don't like a one person working with you, broker of record can help reconcile and have assigned a senior person to work with you and work with them. Unless you are absolutely disappointed and not happy, or there is a reason for you not to continue to work, then I think a sensible and responsible broker record will set you free, because he can override the decision. Nobody wants to hurt the reputation of their brokerage because of one transaction. We are for the long haul. We are community builder. We are city builder. We are a home builder. We fulfill your dreams to have a home, your own home, where you grow your family with peace and happiness. And being a broker record, I can tell you, I take things so seriously. And I have done Realty Coffee Talk many times, and this is our second year on Awaz Entertainment. Just educating, increasing awareness, and educating consumer to build their confidence in real estate. I'm a broker record for City Pro Realty Inc. Brokerage. So remember that. I'm just going to repeat the steps. The broker of record is the complying officer. If you ever have an issue with the realtor that you are working with, you pick up the phone and call the broker of record. He is responsible to make sure that his staff, his people who are working under his command, are in compliance and not causing any problem. If you have an issue, he can help mediate the situation, and he can designate somebody else to help you. And he is the complying officer. He will be more than happy to listen to your consequences. If you have challenges or some issues, performance issues, or any issues, you pick up the phone and call the broker record of that brokerage, and you can talk with them. And I'm very confident all broker of record are responsible professionals. They understand their obligation under Real Estate Business Broker Act, and they will try to accommodate you. They will try to work with you to resolve your issue or dispute or concern or complaint, because we are here to help you to have a happy landing in your new home. Because you are selling a house, you want to move out, you're upgrading to a newer house, or you're selling a house, downsizing, you are helping your family to buy a house for your kids. In any way, pick up the phone, call the broker of record. He is always there. So you understand? You are signing an agreement with brokerage, whether it's an individual or a partnership or a corporation. When a realtor comes to you, please ask him to show me his license. It should be on his phone, because real estate counsel is very sophisticated. Everybody carry a license, and you show them under the act. They're supposed to show you. That confirms you two things. You're dealing with a legitimate real estate professional, and they are also with the brokerage, and you have a license number for the brokerage, license number for the realtor, and also the expiry date on that. This is very, very important. And obviously, there is a cost of doing business. Running a brokerage costs money because they take responsibility. If a realtor does some unethical work, penalty could be up to $50,000 for a transaction, regardless of the value of the transaction. Ethics and morals, professional honesty, integrity is a key of protecting consumer trust. There are always few people who harm our profession. But I tell you, Ontario government and Real Estate Council of Ontario has very strict policy to attend to any complaint from consumers. So if you ever want to have any questions, you want to find out who is the brokerage, go to Realty, rico.on.ca. You can check out. City Pro Realty is my brokerage. Check it out. Is City Pro is registered or not? Check it out. Is Tahir Qureshi is a broker of record? Is this registered? Go check it out on reco.on.ca. So my advice to you is anytime you're dealing with anybody in real estate, either you are checking their card or before you are electing a person to work with you, go to their online, rico.on.ca, to check out the person that you're calling is still have a license or not. Because you have deposit. Deposit is protected under insurance program for RICO for registrant. If you are dealing with someone who has a license yesterday, but he doesn't have a license today, you have the challenge. You have to think about that. So it's very, very important to make sure you're working with a registered broker or real estate agent, broker of record. So my name is Tahir Qureshi. I'm a fellow Real Estate Institute of Canada. I'm a certified international property specialist. I'm a certified real estate specialist from Real Estate Institute of Canada. I'm from CIPS from NAR. I'm a senior real estate specialist dealing with seniors. If you're an older person, 50 plus, I have a specialized education because your needs are different. I can help you. I'm a seller representative specialist. I can help you to sell your property. I'm an ABR, accredited buyer representative. I can help you buy the property. But the highest designation in Canada is Fellow of Real Estate Institute of Canada and Certified Real Estate Specialist, the board designation of Canada, the Real Estate Institute of Canada. So it's a great honor for you to watch Realty Coffee Talk and Awaz Entertainment. If you are in a business in real estate, you're a builder, you're a renovator, you're a plumber, you're a painter, you're a mechanic, you're a renovator, you're building houses, you're a developer, or you're a lawyer, you're a mortgage agent. This is the best place to advertise. They charge you very small amount of money because of Realty Coffee Talk. We have a tremendous reach. Millions of people watching live this show on Awaz ENT 580 on IPTV. You can watch at Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube simultaneously. Subscribe our channel, and you are asked questions. We're more than happy to assist you. And if you want to advertise, Samina Javeen is the founder of this Awaz Entertainment. You can call her 416-786-9809, and you tell her that you watch the Realty Coffee Talk. She will give you a very special package. Our program comes on, due to Ramadan, has come to 6 p.m. and after Ramadan, it will go back to 7 p.m. If you have any question, I'm a real estate broker of record for City Pro Realty. My direct number is 416-451-3489. I'm also a mortgage broker, principal broker. And I'm also founder of Canada Express Mortgage Inc., license number 13241. If you have any question regarding real estate or mortgage and you want to buy or sell, I will give you special discount because you are watching a viewer of Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment. I did take this opportunity to thank everyone for watching. And also I thank our health workers, doctors, nurses, paramedic, military, police, all the pharmacies who are expediting this vaccine process so people get vaccinated as soon as possible. May God bless you all. May God keep you all. Happy Ramadan to all of you. You are watching Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment in Canada, around the world. We'll see you next Saturday at 6 p.m. on Awaz Entertainment. Bye for now from me.